Hi, guys.
Hi,
Hello. Hi. I'm Leilani, and you guys can introduce yourselves.
My name is Heather.
I'm Wendy.
And we're going to just record today. We're going to talk about the trip that Heather and I took to a place called the Integratron. And then we're going to talk about sound and frequency, sound resonance. So we thought that was a good topic. And if we have time, we'll cover our trip that Heather and I took to Area 51 the other day. That was fun, but we don't know if we're going to have enough time. So we're going to try to keep this video short. We have some holiday events to go to, but we wanted to get some information out to everyone. But anyway, does someone want to start it off? Wendy, you said you had some books about.
Oh yeah. Well, I have this book by this author. I don't know if you can see it very well, but her name is Hulda. It's Hulda Regehr, Regehr Clark. She did a lot of studies on diseases and sound frequencies that destroy the pathogens. She says that everything has a frequency of its own, and if you can tune into that frequency, you can, destroy that organism. And she goes into detail about how to make the sound frequencies, and she lists all the sound frequencies in the back to all the organisms that she tested. There's hundreds of them.
Wow.
She's got an interesting theory. I'm not sure. She goes through detail about how she proved it, but she talks about there's only two health problems. She said, no matter how long and confusing is the list of symptoms a person has, from chronic fatigue to infertility to mental problems, I'm sure to find only two things wrong. They have in them pollutants or parasites. I never find lack of exercise, vitamin deficiencies, hormone levels, or anything else to be a primary causative factor. So the solution to good health is obvious. Get rid of the parasites and the pollution. But she uses electronic sound machine to figure out what frequency these parasites and pathogens resonate at, and then you zap the body and it will destroy whatever. She says she can kill cancer, get rid of cancer this way. She believes that cancer is caused by parasites, a type of parasite. So, because she has found that in every patient that these certain parasites to be present. And as we get poisoned in our bodies, these ketones and benzenes that are in all these pollutants that we breathe in and ingest and come in contact with, those prime the body for these organisms to live when they wouldn't normally be able to live in our bodies. These parasites only live in certain stages in animal bodies and in human bodies. So, but when you have these pollutants in your body, they're able to live in these different stages that you wouldn't normally be susceptible to. So it's a real interesting theory. I haven't really researched any other information on it besides hers. So I don't know how much proof she actually has. Haven't retested it myself or anything, but yeah. I just think it's just really interesting information, and it'd be something, if this is really known, it's just being hidden from us,
Yeah, I actually have one of the same books, or two of the same books.
This is called The Cure for All Diseases. I didn't even tell you the title. And then this is the cure for cancer, and then
yeah,
the prevention of all cancers.
Yeah, I know I have the bluish one. I might have the pinkish one, but I don't have the other one. But I haven't read it myself. I'm one of these people that when I see a book that looks interesting, I'll get it, and then they stack up.
I'm the same way. I have a whole shelf full of those.
There's a word for it in Japanese, but I can't pronounce it.
Oh,
but
really?
Someone told me the word one time, and I was like, oh, that's me. I got stacks of books, but yeah, they're on my to-do list to read. So, but we had talked about this because Heather and I, we went to a place. I had found a historic building that was built in the 1960s and finished in the 1970s, the late 1970s, by a man called George Van Tassel. and he named this building Integratron, which I think is interesting. I don't know if he knew at the time the significance of the word, but to me, I was, my guides and stuff, I've been having a conversation with them, but they were saying, that it's integrity, it's the truth. And that's really what integrity is. It's standing in your own truth and having an affirmation without a doubt that it's true. You feel it in your bones, as they say. And so anyway, I found it online, and it wasn't very far away. And so I talked Heather into going. We went on a road trip, and this building, this man George had built it. He said he got the information from ETs and created this building to be a building that is perfect in resonance with sound. And the way it's built, it comes at a peak at the top. So there's actually 2 floors, and you walk up this really steep ladder to go to the upstairs, and it's all made of wood. There's no metal in the building whatsoever, except for on the outside where there's some kind of ion transducers or something. Anyway, I'm not an electrician or electrical specialist, but anyway, he built it. And so the second floor, you get up, and it's just, the ceiling is perfectly arched. And when you stand in the exact center of that room in the upper floor, the most amazing magical thing happens. You can hear, it's beautiful. It's perfect, and you can hear your voice in just a little whisper. It sounds like you're on a megaphone, and it's just incredible. And then when you're standing on one side of the room and someone else is standing on the exact opposite side of the room with you, you can whisper and they can hear it as if you were whispering, really talking to them, right, Heather? It's like
literally they were standing next to you, but they're all the way on the other side.
Across the room, which is like 30 feet, 40
I would say that.
Right? Yeah, 30, 40 feet.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever experienced. Well, one of the most. There's been some other bizarre experiences I've had, but it was really cool. And so anyway, part of the people who own it now, it's 2 sisters, and they decided to turn it into a place where people can come and have a sound bath. And I was excited about it. I've had a sound bath before, but Heather had never experienced it. But for me, it was a challenge because I'd done it before. But for Heather, she absolutely loved it. I won't go into the
it really relaxed me very well, and that's surprising to me because I have a lot of social anxiety. So being in a room full of people, laying down, being able to relax like I did was very surprising. But it was so beautiful, so magical, like you said, and I definitely felt like my body vibrating and having cool thoughts, so something was happening.
Yeah. Well, for those of you who are watching this and have never experienced a sound bath, what happens is you go in an area, a room generally, and someone is playing what's called singing bowls. They're made from quartz crystal. And it's kind of like when you touch a wine glass that's leaded glass, it will sing. And that's what these bowls are doing. They're singing in a vibration or a frequency, a sound frequency that resonates to a certain frequency. And your body can actually feel it. The sound is penetrating because our bodies are 70% water. If we're drinking the amount of water that we're supposed to be drinking, and water is the conductor of electricity, so sound will travel through water, just like when dolphins or whales are out singing in the ocean. They can hear each other from hundreds of miles away in some cases. There was a recent study, I think it was like over 100 miles, that humpback whales, they've discovered, can hear one another communicating because it's such a deep sound. It travels along a great distance. And so they're able to connect with one another and find one another, which I think is really sweet, really cool. It's like their own little love song in the ocean. You know, we have no clue. But anyway, our bodies, the sound will travel through it. And so it makes sense if I know from talking with my team, they've been trying to teach me, they were telling me that I'd be doing healing and stuff, which is crazy, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But anyway, and teaching people how to heal themselves. And it makes sense because I understand from them that our bodies need to be in alignment with the frequency. So we have in our bodies what's called chakras, or chakras, however you want to pronounce it. It's a word that describes the different energy centers in our body. We have 7 main ones, but we have a multitude of them, but 7 main ones. And they spin and they vibrate and they discharge color with that frequency. And so we can tell those who are able to see with their third eye or physically see color. I'm not one of those that can physically see color yet, working on it. But with my third eye, you can actually see auras around people, but some can see the energy bodies, energy portals, energy centers throughout our body. And we have, like I said, 7 main ones. There's the root chakra, which is red. It's our first chakra. Then our second chakra is yellow like the sun.
Orange.
Oh, you're right. Thank you. Orange. Sacral chakra. Yes, thank you. That's why there's 3 of us here. Keeping you on track. So the orange, which is the sacral chakra, and then the yellow, which is the solar plexus, the color of the sun, and then the heart chakra, which is green, but it can also be more pink. And then you have the higher heart, but that's not part of the 7 main ones, but we're moving more into that chakra, that we're activating it. It's become more active in our bodies. And then we have the throat chakra, which is a blue, a lighter blue. And then we have, like a turquoise, the color of my wall. And that's our throat chakra. And then we have our third eye, which is it's a ultraviolet color, like purplish, indigo color. And then our crown chakra, which is I should have had all these written down. Our crown chakra, which is ultraviolet or white. Some people see white because ultraviolet, when it's really bright, can appear white, but it's got a little bit of purple and blue in it. Anyway, and that's our crown chakra, which is the 7th chakra. So anyway, but you can actually see if you're tuned in visually, you can actually see those colors emanating from the body. And I had, when I was first told by my team that I was going to be doing healing for other people, they told me that people were going to be able to see that I have that ability within myself and see those colors, and they were going to want to like reach out and touch me because they think that that's how they can be healed. Some people, and I called it the Jesus experience, because in the Bible, people were trying to touch Jesus because they thought that's how they could be healed. And one woman actually touched the hem of his robe, and she was healed. And he basically told her it was because she believed that's what it would do. And so because she believed, she was a believer, it healed her. And I really think there's something to that. So because our beliefs, our thoughts create our reality. And our thoughts are also frequency, vibrations, and it's all the same. Energy, vibration, frequency, it's all the same. Tesla even, he was preaching about that to people. And so anyway, so I know from my team that we need to have that aligned and balanced, and our chakras are spinning, they're also vibrating, and they're emitting those colors. And I know that the earth has its own frequency. It's called the Schumann resonance, and Schumann is the scientist who discovered that. I don't remember when, but anyway, they recorded it. Scientists have recorded the sound that the Earth is emitting, and it's the resonance is getting louder, which, you know, it's getting higher, and the Earth is heating up. It's part of that process of moving into a higher frequency, a higher dimension, a higher reality for all of us.
It's normally it's normally like 7.32, I think. I'm not sure if that's exactly right, but now it's been over 100 multiple times, and I think it's steadily over 50 now. So that's quite an increase.
Huge. Yeah, huge. Yeah, and I can't remember now, but I think it was March of last year that the Earth had moved into that higher frequency, that higher dimension. So she had completed all of it, and that's exciting for us because it can't be interfered or interrupted anymore. So we're making progress, and if all of you listening to this, you've noticed maybe time has sped up. Like for me, it feels like I'm standing still, but everything around me is just racing by. Time just is disappearing for me. Like I don't know where it goes. Anyway, but it's definitely things are speeding up, so it's exciting. But so we went to the sound bath, and yeah, it was interesting. So to actually feel it traveling through your body, and for Heather, it actually made a difference in her physically. For me, I guess I'd already gotten used to it or something, but it didn't really have that same effect on me that I was hoping for. So, but yeah, it's all your body's tuned to a certain frequency.
So Heather, what did you feel?
Besides feeling less anxious, it was just an overwhelming sense of, I guess, just love, like, and a lightness in a way. You know, I was sitting there, I was laying there, but I was also being transported to another dimension too, or vibration as well. Yeah.
Did the different bowls, I know there's different size bowls, did it seem to make a difference in the way you felt?
The woman that was playing the bowls, what she said she was going to do, she was going to work on our chakras, starting from the root all the way up. So that's what I kind of pictured her doing, you know, what the sound was doing, working on each chakra and imagining them opening up and, you know, balancing. So I think that visualization and then hearing the sound as well, it really plays a part into, you know, changing your vibration.
Yeah. I can't wait to do it. I'm going to do it in February.
Yeah. It's going to be fun.
We're going to do it. So, and for me, there was one fly in the entire room, and that fly found me. And I was trying to focus, had my eyes closed, laying there. That fly just kept landing on my, it drove me crazy. And I could hear every single sound in the room.
The snoring. There is a warning beforehand that you're not allowed to snore, and if you do start snoring, somebody's going to wake you up and tell you to stop.
Yeah, and the woman next to me was snoring.
So loud.
It was loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it you're right. It was just a little bit, but it was so intense, so loud that
it feels like it's right next to your ear.
Yeah.
No matter anywhere in the room, but especially directly across from you.
Yeah, they had put so many
echoing. You'll hear it.
Yeah, it echoes too. Yeah, because it's such a perfectly attuned building. Like the room is it's amazing, phenomenal. But they packed us in so close that I could just reach over and tap the woman on the shoulder to get her to stop snoring. And she did for a little while, but then she went back to sleep really, really quick. So it's magical. It is. But so it was a little annoying for me, but it was good. It was good to be there and just, I could feel the energy. I was so sensitive to everyone else's feelings, and it's cool. It's really cool. So if you get a chance, you don't have to be in that perfect sound room to enjoy or to get a benefit from sound baths. So I recommend that each of you listening to this, give it a try. Give it a try and just experience it for at least once in your life. But the sound bath itself, the bowls are different sizes. So depending on the size, that's the tune, the sound, the tone that it resonates at. And you get several different bowls going, and it's just beautiful. It's the most anyway, it'll resonate. You'll feel it in your body. When you get to the right one that your body is craving, you feel it. You feel it. Your whole body just starts singing and vibrating, and it's excited. So Heather and I actually had this conversation. She had asked me, I'll just go ahead and let you ask about the concert.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so I go to a lot of concerts. I go to a lot of, see Dave Matthews Band a lot. Probably about 40 or 50 times I've seen them. So when I go, yeah, it's a lot. And when I go, it's like, it's just such an experience for me. Okay, it's not only just the music, but it's the energy of the crowds. You know, it's just a total experience. And then we were talking about, so all this energy is accumulating, you know, building and growing in this one area, right? Everybody's affected by it. So what do you do with that energy after you leave the concert? How does it affect you? Why is it affecting you? What's happening?
Yeah. So when she asked that question, you know, like, why is it that, you know, people can get in a riot after a concert, or,
Right.
yeah, or some people are just like full of love and they're happy, and I said it's the frequency of the sound that the concert, the musicians are playing, and everyone in that room, just like a sound bath, you're affected by it. So science has proven that when you're at a concert, it changes your heartbeat. Like your heartbeat could be like boom, boom, boom when you get there. But when you are in the concert, the beat, the rhythm of the music will change your heartbeat. They've done that with Japanese drummers. That's what it's if you've ever, or you get a chance to listen to the Japanese drummers, you'll notice, pay attention, your heartbeat will change to the rhythm of the drums. That don't, you know, it's incredible. And so when you leave that concert, you're still vibrating. Your heartbeat is still beating to that rhythm. So if it's a fast, hard concert, rock concert, you're going to continue to vibrate at that for several, I mean, some people can be like for days after, a few days after. Some people it's only a few hours, but you're reacting to that vibration as well. So depending on the beat, you could riot because everyone is going to be affected the same way in that room. So you're gonna, because your emotions are frequency and vibration and energy. So it's going to make you react emotionally the same as everyone in that room.
When you guys are, while we're talking about this emotional thing with the vibration, you know, back in before World War II era, the music frequency, it might have been earlier than that, like maybe even a little earlier than the war, the Nazis were experimenting with sound frequencies, and they actually made a worldwide change. I think the United States jumped on board with this after the war, but they changed the frequency that orchestras were tuned to from 440, I think, to 442 or 444. I can't remember exactly. I have to look it up. But at 440, that's the body's, that's like a calming. When you look at the cymatic experiments where they vibrate water with certain frequencies and it forms a pattern and they freeze it at that pattern. It's a very harmonious pattern at the original sound frequency, the 440, I believe it was.
432.
432, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, you know, that's the water in your body's vibrating at that more calm and a harmonious pattern. It looks almost like a snowflake when they perfectly symmetrical. When they change the frequency to 440, then it's a chaotic. It looks like a bunch of jumbled up chaos. And then, you know, when they froze it, it was just so you know, it makes you, you know, wonder if they changed it on purpose so that all of our music is now affecting us negatively rather than positively, and that affects the way that the whole world responds to things and their emotions. So it's just another conspiracy theory,
Well, they say conspiracy, but the science backs it up.
Yes, it does. The science definitely backs it up.
Yeah, the more I research, the more I learn about spirituality, I have discovered that a lot of these things have been researched and began in the 1930s.
Yes.
They were initiated in the 1950s, and we're just now finding out about it. But they've had all this time to work on it and perfect it and get it out there and use it to manipulate us and to control us. And it's so sad, but it's there. In fact, the sound, I'm dating myself, but on television, they used to do those emergency broadcasts, and it was like,
I remember that.
that tone, I discovered that tone is to incite violence.
It is a very aggravating tone.
Yeah, it's annoying. It is. And it shouldn't be, if it was peaceful and calm, causing that in your body, you wouldn't have that angry reaction. You wouldn't have that annoyed reaction to it. It would be beautiful to your ears, to your body. You would feel it, but you instead just like, turn it off, switch a channel or something. But it made me wonder, like, okay, were they doing this emergency broadcast system to trigger us every now and then, just enough? Because it used to be set at a certain time every day, and you would get this, for our own safety. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. Like, they're implementing.
Now they're using the cell towers to do it.
Yep.
The cell towers are emitting, and sometimes I think I can hear it when I get near a cell tower. It's like, I can feel pressure. It just
your body's responding to it.
I think that was one of the things to point out. Like, if all this is affecting us, then we have to make sure that we're protecting ourselves.
Yep. Constantly.
Yeah.
And how do you do that?
Well, making sure we set our intentions. Yep. Number one.
Yep. So Heather's been listening. She's been a good student. You just visualize that light around you. Ask for your angels and guides to protect you and surround you with a golden white light of love and peace and protection. And visualize it, because visualizing it's a thought, which is energy. It creates and manifests that around you. So, and then try to avoid it as much as you can. I mean, they can only do so much. So,
well, that just reminds me. I just read something the other day about the children that are coming in now. The souls that are being born are immune. They're coming in prepared to not be affected by these things that they're doing to us, and they're coming in to help all this. This stuff go away. They cannot be mind controlled or affected by it.
Yeah.
And even if we get to a certain point, us that are already here, we can actually turn these signals off.
Yeah.
Turn these devices off. And they were talking about the chipping, how everyone was so afraid about the chipping. Oh, I'm not going to get chipped, and no matter what. So they figured out that everybody was going to rebel against that. So what did they create?
Yep.
We carry our chips with us in our pockets, and they're next to our heart and next to our reproductive organs, next to everything. So this is a microwave radiation device.
Yeah.
If you hold it next to your head, they've showed that it's tumors are forming because it heats up the brain. So they tricked us. They made us love our prison.
Yeah. And it's so sad, but that's one of the things I was telling Heather about. You were saying the water, the crystals, because I use a cleansing spray, and it's made. I got it. I gathered snow from near Yellowstone National Park, which is a really beautiful vortex, and I melted it and created this cleansing spray with it. And so she was asking me about it, but snow is a crystal. And crystals are here for our benefit. They amplify. So by changing, and water is just the most amazing material gift for us. It cleanses everything, but it's also a crystal. It's healing. We need that water. We need to drink it, and that's part of, we're digesting or ingesting crystals. If you think about it, crazy, but it's true. And the other thing, the example that I was showing her was that they have actually put speakers near like a flat sheet of paper and sprinkled sand on it, and then they played the different frequencies, and that sand creates a pattern, beautiful, intricate patterns. And I was told by my ET friends that that's what they use to make the crop circles. It's sound, it's frequency, it's vibration, and that's what it's instant. They don't have to spend days tromping down the stalks of the wheat or whatever they're doing the beautiful artwork on. It's just instant, because it's sound, and then they're gone. And so, but it's for us to help resonate that vibration. Some of the crop circles are for our benefit, and some is not. It's malevolent, and so we need to be careful. But they're a frequency, they're a vibration here for our planet, as well as the people who see it and experience it. So anyway, we need to get going. So that's, yeah. I was also reading a little bit. There's some work that's out there going on that is saying the colors aren't matching because frequency, the sound, the vibration, it emits a color. And they're saying this research that people in the scientific or the spiritual community, they're saying that the frequencies that have been associated with those different chakras are no longer valid, because the colors that are being emitted by that frequency isn't matching the colors of the chakras. And they don't know how to prove it other than, the instruments, scientific instruments. But it makes sense to me because our planet has moved into a different frequency. So therefore, it would raise those frequencies more, to me. The common sense to me. Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, this makes sense to me. But anyway, I have to do more research on it, but you guys can Google it if you want, if you're really curious. But anyway, we just wanted to share that and just give you guys some food for thought, and hopefully have some conversation or discussion about it. Leave your comments below or in our Facebook page, which is Intergalactic Connections. And then, yeah, I don't need to give my website out, but the link will be in the description if you guys want that. Anything else you guys want to add?
If you want to Google the stuff about the sand frequencies, sound, it's called Symmetrics. It starts with a C, CYMETRI, Symmetrics.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't know there was actually like a word for it, but it is
really neat. It's really neat, yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Heather? Do you have anything to add?
Just that you can check out our pictures from our trip to the Integratron and Area 51 on our Facebook group.
Yeah. Yeah, Heather posted quite a few of those. So anyway, thank you, all of you, and we'll talk about Area 51 the next time then, I guess.
Sure.
Bye. All right, bye. Have a good holiday.